Toastmaster winning. S for dash, S for stats. S for dash, S for stats. Toastmaster winning.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I have to break a rule today at Mumbai Toastmasters. Asa in the morning very specifically mentioned that we are not allowed to talk about three things, that is sex, religion and politics. I'm not going to talk about sex. I'm not going to talk about politics. I'm going to talk about God. According to Matthew Hayden, he bats at number 4 for India. According to Harsha Bogle, if he bats well, India sleeps well. Mahendra Singh Dhoni, a reputed legendary Indian captain, always used to say, जब भगवान बैट करने आता है तो मुझे बुला देना. That is, when God comes to bat, please call me. And to give a better introduction in the voice of Tony Gregg, a legendary commentator, he said in one of his innings, Sachin Tendulkar, what a player. It's a privilege to see you bat, young son. Sachin Tendulkar, what a player. Yes, the god I'm going to talk about today is Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar. He spent most of his life in a crease that measured 22 yards. India's most decorated batsman. Fun fact that everyone knows that he has scored 100 international centuries, am I right? Yes. His first one came on August 14th against England in the year 1990. And the last and the 100th historic century came against Bangladesh on 16th of March 2008. Between the first and the 100th century, the 99 that he has scored in international test cricket, international ODI cricket, India have won 53% of the matches that Sachin has scored a ton. To reiterate Harsha Bogle, 53% of India sleeps well when Sachin bats well. 53% of people have seen God batting at number 4 for India. Apart from his cricketing career, Sachin Tendulkar has excelled in another career that he had enrolled himself into. It was his advertising career that a very few people know about. His first ad, or one of his best endorsements that he found out or he was endorsed for, was Boost. How many of you drank Boost during your younger days? Chinmay, if you can ask, why did you not drink Boost?
I was drinking Milo.
You know why I drank Boost? Every morning during my school days at around 7:30, during the commercial, a voice used to come and say, Boost, the secret of my energy. Which reminded me that if Sachin drinks Boost, and if it's the secret of his energy, it's definitely the secret of my energy. A Boost every morning, and remembering Sachin in mind, I used to start practicing my cricket strokes. After Boost, he had a lot of other endorsements like Pepsi, where everyone remembers that one special ad venture with Shah Rukh Khan, disguised as Sachin trying to enter the pavilion. How many of you remember that ad? Can you please raise your hand? And in the end, Sachin comes and just smiles with a Pepsi in his bottle, which again endorsed Pepsi as a global brand for our Indian audience. Sachin Tendulkar took sporting personality endorsements to the next level just by playing a cricket game between 22 yards. The impact a star has created just by endorsing with one brand. India developed, brands evolved. Till today, Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar has been endorsing brands. And some of the brands he endorses right now are DBS Bank, Sten Network, BMW, and most of all, the most entertaining place for a target audience of my age and below, Smash. The most entertaining place and the most, it's expensive, but it's entertaining. Every entertaining thing comes at an expense, and this, some might say, is not worth it, but when you earn, everything is worth it. Moving on, one incident that struck me was when he was endorsing BMW and they had launched a car. I'd spoken about this when I was a sergeant at arms at this very stage, that made him realize the importance and effectiveness of being alert. India were playing New Zealand, Rahul Dravid and Sachin Tendulkar were at the crease, and the balls were just not meeting the bat, and Sachin and Dravid were not able to play their strokes. To which Sachin came and said to Dravid, see, I'm going to look at the bowler's hand and I'm going to guide you now. If the bowler is going to bowl an in swing, I'm going to keep the bat in the left hand, and if the bowler is going to bowl an out swing, I'm going to keep the bat in the right hand. Dravid accepted this code, and Chris Gaines, who was the bowler, started realizing that all the shots now were bridging the gaps and they were connecting. And eventually one fielder realized that Sachin was not looking at the batsman, but he was looking at the bowler. To which he was confused. And then Sachin noticed Chris Gaines holding the ball in a cross-seam position, which means the ball will not swing. Dravid, who was fortunate enough, realized that he could play the strokes. To which Sachin said, I had also reminded Dravid that if I don't know what's going to happen, I'm going to keep the bat in the center. It's the presence of thought and mind. Times magazine had presented an article about Sachin, which showed that India developed as a nation. Messi, Roger Federer were all in their nappies when this legend was already making names. Now everyone knows Messi as a legend. Now everyone knows Federer as a legend. But there was one legend always waiting on top to receive them. To end, Sachin always taught me one thing. In an interview, Harsha Bhogle said that Sachin used to practice all his strokes in front of a mirror. He used to stand in front of a mirror and do this, round about 3,000 times just to get one stroke right. And that's when I realized that the mirror is your greatest critique. Sachin Tendulkar, a man who ruled the game over 22 yards, just realized and taught me that the best person to critique your performance is a mirror. To end, the most highest run getter was also leading India's name in the most number of ducks. That is an oxymoronic statement that you can find. To end, I would like to say one quote that Hashim Amla had said when they were traveling. He said, in India, when I fly wherever, if Sachin Tendulkar is in a flight, no one's going to bother me or stop me, and I can rule the country with Sachin by my side. Now that is a master blaster innings from my end, and now, without being dismissed, it's end of race play. Over to you.